You know, I think whenever you work on anything, you're telling a story as an artist. You're telling a story about like what you believe in and who you are. If you look at Susan Sarandon and God, I'm blanking on his name right now. Sean Penn. You look at them, Tim Robbins. They're really passionate actors, and they have very specific beliefs about certain things. And in everything they do, you know who they are based on their acting choices and the parts they do in the films they do. And I just think that, it's not. I'd want to make sure that I was getting to tell a story about what I believe in, and it's not. I wouldn't play somebody that has, belief systems that are different than mine, because I don't feel that you should make your artistic choices based on other people's morality and viewpoints. But at the same time, you have to know what's important to you. And sometimes by playing those characters that hold belief systems that are different than yours, you're telling a story too. Yeah, it's been so much fun, and I'm excited. The awards ceremony tonight at 5. So
you gonna be there?
Of course.
That's great.
So yeah.
That's great. We're here with Fiona Gubelmann.
Hello.
You're an actress, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you're an actress. And most recently, I guess we've seen you in Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the woodland nymph.
Woodland fairies, yes, woodland nymph. I can't even pronounce that, so I say woodland fairy.
That must have been an interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
They say drama's easy, comedy is hard. Is that true?
Yes, although drama can be hard too. So, yeah, comedy is hard because good comedy is you're taking everything for you're doing everything for real. You've got to play it for keeps. I mean, I think all the best comedies are, Groundhog Day and all the Bill Murray movies, Dirty Rotten Scoundrel. I mean, another great film. It doesn't have Bill Murray in it, but
no.
But you just really, when people play it for real, I mean, it's hilarious. And so you're doing serious acting, but you're doing it in these ridiculous, exaggerated situations. And there's so much that goes into comedy, so it can be very difficult, but very fun.
Didn't you try out for a different role in Blades of Glory?
Yeah, I tried out for to play a Hooter girl, a psychotic Hooters girl, who is, it was the funniest part, and I went in and auditioned for that, and I didn't end up getting the part because the scene was actually written out of the film, and the directors thought that I was so funny in my audition that they were like, well, we got to put you in the film somewhere. So I got to play a woodland fairy, which was so cool because I got this crazy costume and incredible hair and makeup, these extensions. I mean, it was every little girl's dream come true to play a fairy. So, and then, yeah.
What are some of the, I know you do a lot of TV, what are some of the shows that we've seen you in?
Recently, I was on My Name is Earl and CSI New York, had guest stars on both those shows. I was on Joey, Cold Case, a WB show called The Mountain, The Mullets, although I didn't have a mullet. And so lots of different, comedies, dramas.
You went to UCLA?
Yes.
Was acting always your major there?
No, I started out as pre-med. I was really into human anatomy, and I wanted to do physiological science was my specific degree, and I always thought it'd be really neat to do pediatrics or pediatric oncology. I love kids, and I think cancer research is very interesting, but I auditioned for a play like 2 or 3 weeks in and got a part in A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was this musical version, and I played a fairy in that, and I played one of the fairies.
The Queen of the Fairies?
No, I think it was Mustard Seed. I can't remember, but we did a dance in it to the song Fever. Fever. Yeah, so that was fun. I won't sing, we'll break the mics, but yeah. So it was funny. It all goes full circle. But anyway, so I did the play, and I was having so much fun, and I took some acting classes, and I was like, I'd done it since I was a kid, done theater, and I just loved it so much that I thought, why not try and see what happens, and if I make a living, I make a living, and we dance in here. If I make a living, I make a living, and if I don't, I don't, but at least I know, and I tried.
So we lost a great doctor, but we gained a great actress.
Yes, that's true, that's true.
Have you put down on your resume that you were pre-med, because that means that opens up the whole medical shows for you?
I know, I haven't. I never thought about that.
You know, oh yeah, I could do that terminology.
I know, I love parts where I have to speak a lot of dialogue and say it really fast. Like, I love those type of parts. So that would be a good thing. Although I tend to do it in comedies more, speak very fast. But yeah, I've never been on ER. I've never even auditioned for the show. But I'd love to be on Grey's Anatomy, and I should put that on my resume. That's a good idea.
That's
I
what
never
I'm
thought of
here
that.
for. Now you've graduated with theater arts, and then I know that you've mentioned you still take classes.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
As an actor, it's very important to continue working on your craft. I mean, athletes are still, once you're on a pro football team, you're still working out, you're still training with the team, there's so many things that go into it, and it's the same for an actor. You're working on the basic skills of just listening and being moment to moment, and working on your voice, working on your body, but it's also so I can grow as an actor. I mean, even though I like to think that I'm talented, there's still so many things that I can learn how to do, so many things I can work on. And so constantly just working and pushing myself so I can develop myself in many different areas.
Well, they liked it in the audience.
I know.
With acting and the craft, do you feel there's been, let me put it this way, has there been any type of role that you would really like to do that you haven't been offered yet?
Like, what would I really like to do next?
Yeah, I mean, if you could say, I'd be perfect for this type of movie.
How that sounds like, let's see. I'd really like to do like an action film. I think that'd be really fun. Something, but I don't know I don't even know if I'd have to train for that. But I think it'd be really fun to do like a Charlie's Angels type part, something where, a lot of action, a lot of fun stunts and special effects. But I really, what I want to do, what my dream and desire to do is work in science fiction and fantasy films. I'd love to work with, Guillermo del Toro or Tim Burton, people who just really think outside the box and create these incredible pictures that are just, visually, so imaginative. And that's what inspired me to start acting when I was a little kid, see these things. And I just love working in stuff where you transform yourself and you're in these incredible costumes and working in these beautiful sets. So that's what I'd love to do.
I would not guess science fiction.
Yeah, I'm a science fiction, but I really love that stuff. Like, I grew up reading those type of books, and I read Harry Potter. I don't know, that's not exactly science fiction, but
science fiction, fantasy.
Yeah, but I love stuff like that. So. Mm-hmm.
That's what did you think of the last book?
The last book? I really liked it, but I hated the very end of it.
You didn't like the epilogue?
The epilogue, yes. I did not like the epilogue because, well, I don't want to say why, but I just...
Most people have finished the book by now, but...
I just want to say that I didn't like it because now there's no possibility for more books. And that really disappointed me. It made me very sad because I kept hoping.
The tween years.
I know, the tween, but
no, the early 20s.
I didn't like the wrap up because I really kept hoping that they'd write some more books. But I loved Ender's Game. That's one of my favorite books, and I've read that a few times. And Louis L'Amour's The Haunted Mesa, I think, is incredible. If you haven't read those are very good. Oh my God, it's incredible. I've read it a few times. It's very good. Yeah, I love stuff that just, it's creative and you just can really go places. And the last of the really great Whangdoodles is a very good book, and for kids too. Julie Andrews wrote that. It's a really fun book. Mm-hmm.
Getting back to the acting part of things, how do you prepare for a role?
Oh God, there's so much that goes into it.
Let's say it's a drama. How would you prepare for something from?
For an audition or for?
For an audition,
okay.
Or for once you get the part. Do you prepare differently?
Well, when I have an audition, I just don't have as much time to prepare. It's the same preparation. It's just a lot. It's very condensed. But what I do is I first start by just reading the script over and over again. And while I'm reading it, I go through and I write down facts, just basic facts. Because, you know, where I am, is it day or is it night? You know, and then who I'm talking with in the scene. What's my relationship with this person? Who am I? What do I do for a living? All those basic facts that are so easy to glide over. And just to you know, if the scene is taking place outside in the snow, it's different than if the scene's taking place at the beach. You know, I mean, and it sounds so silly, but those are some of the basic things that you can just, you know, forget to look at. So really just reading it over and over again and looking at the basic facts, and then going through and trying to, you know, get my opinion, or what do I think about this? You know, what does this fact inspire in me to make a creative choice? You know, what does that make me think about this person? So that way when I go in there, I've made choices about who I think this girl is, because how I go in and play the part is going to be different than, you know, another girl is going to go in and play the part, because we're different people, we have different experiences, and so our you know, our ideas and our imaginations are going to take us to different places. But so that's basic, and then just running it with somebody. If I have the opportunity to act with a friend, you know, I'll try and get them to play the other part and just see what that evokes in me. Sometimes having another person read the other character, or read my character that I'm going in for, because sometimes you can see in them what and you're like, oh, that's how this scene should go. So doing that. Research, looking up words that I don't know. Which, you know, sometimes there's words you think you know, but if you look it up and you're like, oh, that's what it means, and that will give, you know, spark ideas. Looking up, you know, if it's talking about specific things that I'm not very familiar with, like if you're talking about if I'm going in from, you know, to play a doctor, looking up and understanding the terms that I'm speaking about, because you need to know what you're talking about. And then personalizing it. Finding out, you know, sometimes I'll be doing a scene about something that has nothing to do with, that I've never experienced, but you know, in order to make it believable or real, I find something in my life that I can relate to it, and, you know, so I know what is going on. And then another thing where I study is talking about psychology and behavior. So what's happening to me physically, you know, during this experience, and then trying to find that behavior in my body. So I mean, there's so many things. So
how many auditions do you go on?
Oh God, it really depends. Slow week can be 2 to 3, and then sometimes a really crazy week, 9 to 12 a week, which is exhausting. And yeah, I mean, 3 days really hard. You know, one a day is great, because then you really have a lot of time to prepare and focus on it. So.
How do you deal with the rejection? I mean, you must have tons of.
Well, I find that the key to that is knowing if I do everything I can to prepare for a part, and I put all my, you know, I put all the work into it I can, and I create a product that I feel this is the part, and this is what I you know, worked really hard to create, and I go in and do that, then I can't, that's, you know, I did my best. And if I'm not right for the part and I don't get it, then that's because of so many other things. It has nothing, you know, that are beyond my control. And you know, I'll get told, oh, we loved her, but she was too old, or she was too young, or we decided to go with a brunette, or, I mean, just so many little things that are out of your control. So if you know that what you're delivering is what you want to deliver, then that's, you know, you just, and the other thing too is that you can go in for a show 5 or 6 times to producers, and until you get a part, because they really are trying to find the right part, especially in you know, television and film. They're storytelling, so you know, they're really, who they cast really tells the story. So it is, you know, and then sometimes you can book a job off of, you go in for one part and somebody sees you there, and in the future they cast you in something else. So it's, you know, just knowing that you're going in and doing good work will eventually turn into something else.
What's been the hardest role you've had so far, and why?
The hardest role, you know, honestly, I think the hardest role would have been when I worked on Cold Case, only because that was the first dramatic role I'd ever been cast in, you know, for a major television, and I was just terrified. You know, I was nervous because it was my first experience and I didn't know what to expect.
What were you playing?
I was playing a girl ranging from 1969 to 1971, and my boyfriend was a convict, and he had stolen some, cute knee-high boots for me and was sent off to prison. And we just had a couple of really dramatic scenes where he kills somebody, where he proposes to me, where he gets arrested. I mean, and so it was emotionally, I had a wide range of emotions to play, and so I was just, it was just nerve-wracking in that sense, and your first time, so that was definitely a challenge. But everyone was so wonderful that it was a lot of fun to work on that, and incredible people. So
Has there been a role or have you turned down any work?
definitely, I've turned down auditions, and then I've turned down parts that I just decided that I didn't want to work on.
Such as?
Well, there's a part in a film I went in for. I had like 3 or 4 auditions for it, and I ended up turning it down because I felt that what they wanted from me and the work they wanted from me, I wanted to put into the project, but once I really had met with the director a few times, my
The
vision.
chemistry wasn't there.
No, I really liked the director and the writer. It was just what they wanted to make the film, their artistic vision and what they wanted to do with the film was different than what I wanted. They were like, yeah, we just want to make this for video and, da 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 da. And for me, it was just, their visions of it just weren't, what they wanted to do with it was not what I would want. If I was going to put in, it was going to be a lot for me, a lot of work for me, and I didn't want to invest that if other people weren't investing the same amount of energy and passion and desire to create this product. So,
So a very
that was
passionate
it.
actress.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Is there any type of role you would turn down if the script was right?
If the script.
If the script was right, but it involved like clubbing baby seals or something like that.
What type of things would I not want to do?
Right.
It really just depends on, I think whenever you work on anything, you're telling a story as an artist. You're telling a story about like what you believe in and who you are. If you look at Susan Sarandon and God, I'm blanking on his name right now. Sean Penn. You look at them, Tim Robbins. They're really passionate actors, and they have very specific beliefs about certain things. And in everything they do, who they are based on their acting choices and the parts they do in the films they do. And I just think that, it's not. I'd want to make sure that I was getting to tell a story about what I believe in, and it's not. I wouldn't play somebody that has, belief systems that are different than mine, because I don't feel that you should make your artistic choices based on other people's morality and viewpoints. But at the same time, you have to know what's important to you, and sometimes by playing those characters that hold belief systems that are different than yours, you're telling a story too. So just because I've never smoked, it doesn't mean I wouldn't play someone who doesn't smoke, because by smoking as a character choice, then I'm saying something about this person, and I'm also getting my point across about smoking. So it's all about what you believe and what kind of story you're trying to get across, and you can use the characters of the film to do that. So, but yeah, there's certain, I guess, I may not make things that are, advocate certain issues, but I don't even think they make those type of films. So, yeah.
Well, it's been wonderful having you at the
Thank
Poppy
you.
Jasper Film Festival, and I had to think to myself, you are the first actress we've had on the Women in Film panel.
Oh, cool. That's great.
And I had to ask, how did we get this beautiful and talented actress to come to Morgan Hill?
I was so flattered by the invitation. I thought it was so cool, and for me, I just was so excited about the opportunity to meet the other film and the other women in the film panel, and also to come and talk to people. I heard there'd be a lot of high school students here, and to talk to them about my experiences, and just to encourage people, because I think that art is such an important thing, and it's something that is in our society and schools and stuff. It's getting lost in the educational system, and just people aren't getting. I really want to inspire people to follow their dreams, whether it's acting or directing or writing or even lighting. I mean, there's everyone has things that they're excited about, and I just wanted to inspire people and share from my experiences. So, and I've had such a wonderful time here, so thank you so much for having me, and everyone was so friendly, and Morgan Hill is such a wonderful town, beautiful, and just I've had such a great time, so
Well,
thank you.
you've been staying with somebody in town, haven't you?
Yeah, my mother lives here, so it's been nice. I don't get to come up here very often. It's hard to get out of LA.
Now, your mother has her marketing company?
Yes, she owns a marketing company. I think it's VBI Marketing, is if I'm correct, but I'm not sure.
I'll fix this and post it.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm a terrible daughter, but I can tell you other things about her.
Oh yeah, please
Like
do.
she teaches Pilates at the gym, and so that's cool.
Okay. How do you like to work out? Do you work out?
I do.
What do you like to do?
I used to love running, but I had a hip injury early this year, and so no more running for me. But I like walking. It's just being outside every day for 30 minutes to an hour, enjoying the fresh air and just like being able to clear my mind. Sometimes at night after dinner, my boyfriend and I like to go on walks for an hour, just being outside, and just it's great. Walking is an incredible exercise. I love Pilates. Doing that a few days a week with a Pilates instructor. I like yoga. I like things that really work on just strengthening your muscles, that work on flexibility, that work on balance, because those things are also important for our health. So.
Well, also with yoga, it's a mind.
It is. It's good. It helps you concentrate and focus on things, and just clarity. Especially as an actor, you need to be able to focus on things. So.
What's been your worst experience as an actress?
Oh God, so many things. No, I'm kidding. God, worst.
You went in for an audition and found out it was total sleaze, or?
God, there's like so many little things that you could. I mean, it's hard. Rejection can be really hard. Not getting parts, like you're so excited about a part, and you'll be on hold for it, and you're just so excited, and then you don't get it, and that can be really discouraging. I'm trying to think of something that was just terrible, but I can't think of. I think sometimes it can be hard as a because and men have to deal with this too, but the weight thing can be hard. Sometimes people can just kind of make you feel like say things about your appearance or your body, and that can be hard. But I have the ability to let that affect me and emotionally, and I you can feel what you want to feel. So it's just remembering that sometimes people say things because they're in a bad place, and it's nothing to do with you. So.
What about the best?
The best? God, yeah.
One scene or one.
I just think all the incredible people I've met. I've made so many incredible friends as an actress, both actors, writers, directors, producers, people on sets. Just so many incredible people that I think is the best thing. Just really neat, artistic, interesting people. And a lot of times it's not the other actors. It's like the producer of a specific episode, or a writer, or you just casting director. Oh my God, casting directors. I've met some of the most amazing people. So I think just the people. I think that's been, I don't know, that's one of the best parts.